Hi guys, today we're going to talk about changing out a stone in the stone frame or putting your stone into the stone frame for the first time. We've got three different stone frames here of a couple of different eras. This particular stone frame here was one of the reps found out in Kalgoorlie, and have a bit of a look and you'll see it's hollowed out in here and clean here. That would actually mean that it's been used on a wedge sharpening system, not on the flip over version. You can see the old handle style there. I'm not sure if that was original or if it's been retro changed, but that's one that we've got there from original. This one here is my own personal one. It's about 25 years old. That previous one was probably around about 35 years old. You'll probably be able to see through here that it's been used for obviously a flip over because it's quite well worn all the way through the whole length of your stone. This is what I'm going to swap out today. And then we've just got one of the new ones that we have now that the actual units come with. What we're going to do with this particular one, we're going to swap out my one. I use the Bear IB8, which is an aluminium oxide stone. You'll quite distinctly see the difference on these guys as they have the orange and the dark brown finish. The aluminium oxide is a little bit harder than the silicon carbide. I'm sure you can see these guys over here, but they're quite a distinct grey, two combination coloured grey stone. So we'll swap this particular one out today. I just need to grab the spanner that it comes with. We'll just undo a couple of these little nuts on here, loosen them off, wind them off a little bit to make plenty of room to get the old one out, put the new one in. I think by memory this stone's a reasonably tight one in this old stone frame, so it might be a bit tight getting him out, or it might not be. There we go. There's the old one gone, and we'll put the new one in. The new one's a little bit tighter going in, but we will make that happen. Okay. Once we get ourselves into close to the right positioning, what we need to do is we need to make sure the distance from the centre of this rod to the outside of here and the centre of the rod to the outside of the other side over here on both sides are even. So the centre out and the centre out need to be even on the four. So when this stone goes into the actual the stone frame and the stone goes into the sharpener, when we're flipping it over, we've got the same distance each side, so we continue to keep the same angle. This might take me just a couple of moments to get this correct. I just use the actual spanner as a bit of a gauge, and I can see through the actual gap how close I am, or you could quite easily get a little steel ruler and actually do it as well. The other thing we need to make sure is that our line along the centre of this particular rod and this particular rod is the same parallel. Otherwise, if that's off on an angle, which can happen, because sometimes you will need to shim one side or the other. I quite often just use like an edge of a business card in there if I need to just straighten it up, but it is important that that line and that line is a straight line. So when it's actually in the sharpener and you flip from one side to the other, that line through there for the passing through is correct. And obviously, as I was saying before, with that flip over section there, you need to make sure that they're correct as well. So as long as you've put your stone in and you're even on each side, just recapping, and as long as the line between here and here is correct, then you're ready to actually start sharpening with your stone. But it is important to get the stone in the stone frame correctly. Thank you.